Hi there, my name is Dumisani Chauke. I am the HOD of Sport at the Tshwane University of Technology, Ga-Rankuwa campus. I am also the assistant coach of the SPA Proteas. I am a Laureus Sport for Good ambassador. I am also an ambassador of Play Your Part program by Brand South Africa. I serve on the SASCOC Coaches Commission. I serve on the USA High Performance Commission, as well as a member of the CUCSA Technical Subcommittee. Well, with all of that said, that then brings us to my opinion on the day that we are celebrating, which is June 16, National Youth Day. Firstly, is National Youth Day celebration still relevant? Secondly, what exactly are we celebrating? Thirdly, what lessons can we take from the youth of 1976? And from those lessons that we might take, what are we going to do going forward? Now, let me give you a bit of a background on what transpired on June 16. Obviously, this is for our international audience. So, the June 16, 1976 uprising began in Soweto and spread countrywide, profoundly changed the socio-political landscape in South Africa. Events that triggered the uprising can be traced back to policies of the apartheid government that resulted in the introduction of the Bantu Education Act in 1953. The rise of the Black Consciousness Movement, BCM, and the formation of the South African Student Organization, SASO, raised the political consciousness of many students, while others joined the wave of anti-apartheid sentiments within the student community. When the language of Afrikaans, alongside English, was made compulsory as a medium of instruction in schools in 1974, Black students began mobilizing themselves. On June 16, 1976, between 3,000 and 10,000 students, mobilized by the South African Students' Movement Action Committee, supported by the BCM, marched peacefully to demonstrate and protest against the government's directive. The march was meant to culminate at a rally in Orlando Stadium. Unfortunately, on their way there, they were met by heavily armed police who fired tear gas and later live ammunition on demonstrating students. This resulted in a widespread revolt that turned into an uprising against the government. So while the uprising in Soweto had begun, it spread across the country and carried on until the following year. Right, so we can discuss and talk about the bravery of the youth of 1976. We can take away some lessons from them in terms of standing up for what you believe in, standing up for your human rights. Imagine at a school, you are a Tsonga speaking scholar, isiZulu, isiXhosa, Sepedi, isiSotho. Next thing, you are being forced to be taught in Afrikaans, a language you had never heard before, the language of your oppressor. Now, how would that make you feel? Okay. Again, in my opinion, is the celebration of Youth Day still relevant? Yes, we are celebrating their bravery. Yes, we are celebrating what they were able to achieve back then, but what are we, the youth of today, doing? So we, as young women leaders in sport, what lessons are we taking from the youth of 1976? What successes can we celebrate? What struggles can we take on and be leaders in those struggles to say, yes, we are fighting for for example, we are fighting for equal pay. We are fighting for equal opportunities for women sport leaders to be leaders in governance. We are fighting for facilities for our girls and women, whether it's in villages, in townships, even in the cities, to have the equal standard of facilities for them to play sport. Again, are we still gonna find people, or young women rather, fighting for equal pay? How much longer are we as young leaders in sport going to fight for equal pay, equal opportunities, and have our voices shut because maybe you are told you talk too much? Maybe you are told No, we'll handle that issue, and issues that are faced by women in sport, young women in sport, are swept under the cover. Still evident that women leaders in sport in South Africa are still having to fight the battles that were fought in 1976. So in 2022, you still find young women in leadership positions in sport still fighting for equal opportunities and equal pay. Are we the youth that are going to finally win the war on such challenges? So, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, yes, we may still carry on celebrating Youth Day, but what are we as the youth of today going to be remembered for? Ladies and gentlemen, that was my opinion on the celebration of Youth Day, June 16. My name is Dumisani Chauke, and I pledge to continue empowering young girls and women through the sport of netball. And yes, I'd like to challenge you to pledge your support in making the youth of today better for tomorrow.